Okay, so I feel like there was a time when we were consistent and we were confident and sure of ourselves. I think that our people were invaded and we were taught the ways of the enemy. We were taught the ways of the white man, and it spread like wildfire through our culture and through the ages. And so we are in the way that we're in right now because of what was taught to us. And it's like when you understand what happened to our people, that changes so much. Because they were basically infiltrated, stabbed in the back, and this was the part of their process of infiltrating the mind of the people. And then once you get them to the point where they're enslaved, you remove everything from them that they knew and replace that with trauma, hurt, and pain. And then you also fill their minds with whatever you want to, because they're prime and ready to accept the information because they've been beaten down so far and they have forgotten who they are. And so they're taught these things, and we've been taught these things, and we've been taught images and song lyrics and all types of things, and that's why we're the way we are today. So, and I feel like even thinking about what a wife should be, I think we sometimes, I think we know in our hearts what we're supposed to be as a wife and a helpmate. But it's like it's so hard to create that because everybody is so twisted and confused and far from their native culture, and we're all far from our ancestral roots, and we are trying to create these lives by the standards of what someone has taught us, because we only do what we're taught. And until we start to dig a little bit deeper and do different things, we've gone many years just doing what we were taught, and that's the wrong way. So, it's taken many thousands and thousands of years for us to get here, but we are our ancestors. So what has affected them in the past is still connected to us because we're still under that. We're under that spell that was cast on our ancestors. And, we're waking up now and we're trying to figure out, okay, how can we fix this? And it seems so big that it almost seems impossible to fix, but to fix it, we have to start with ourselves and work on dealing with our issues and deal with the ugliness of the things that have happened to us traumatically as women, being raped, molested, or whatever we've done or experienced or had taken from us, and dealing with those things and healing. And it's a long process because it's taken, for me, 33 years to have an epiphany and say, whoa, I need to change my life. Like, really change it. I tried in my 20s and I tried at different points in my life, but it just never really stuck. But after you get to a certain point and being traumatized, you wake up and you really are like, no, something else. It's something more to life than this. And you start to go on a journey to change yourself. And it's like, I know what the Bible says, and I know what the world says we should do as the wife. We should be there to comfort our husband when he gets home from his job and all this stuff. But I feel like it's something more to that. Just that whole setup can be more. That's just what's been given to us. We allow men to enter into us so easily through conversation or a special date, or he did something nice for us, he spent some money on us, and we feel like, okay, that's enough to allow him into my house. And we allow these people to come into our house, our body, our spirit, our mind, and they ransacked us, and they steal from us. And this is not to bash men, it's just women have to step up their standards, and men do too. And the fact that the man wants to come in and ransack and steal, that's a problem. It's like we have to deal with, why does he feel that he has to treat the woman that way and steal from her or rape her or whatever. And this is just changing gears a little bit about the little girls. I think we need to get away from the Disney stories of what how love is, which the girl is a damsel in distress, something's wrong with her. The knight comes in and saves her from the dragon and the burning castle and all this stuff, and they live happily ever after, but they don't ever take the story further, what happens to her after that. And they continue to regurgitate this story into us over and over and over again, and that creates an issue within the young child. But the problem is, a lot of the times her mother is still working off of that programming as well, because she got the same thing when she was a child. And we have to let all of that stuff go. And I think that we shouldn't let our children watch certain things on TV, because that's infiltrating their mind and that's teaching them the story when we need to teach them the story. We need to teach them what's real and the truth, and equip them with the tools that they need to survive in this world, and not expect the TV to do it, or our teachers to do it, or whoever to do it. Like, we have to be the ones that do it, but we got to work on ourselves first. And that means that we have to go back to our own healing and, you know, dig up that stuff, those bones in our closet. That stuff is hard to deal with, but we have to deal with it, and then we have to change from it. We have to cry about it and be depressed and be angry about what has happened to us and what we have allowed to happen to us. We have to take personal responsibility for what we allowed to happen, even in our state of being unconscious as to what we were really doing. We didn't fully know what we were doing because we were under a spell. So when we wake up from the spell, we have to start to change, and then we teach our daughters and we teach our sons. And as we come together and grow as a community, as a family, as a whole, people of color, melanated beings, people of the world, as we start to evolve within ourselves, it just comes out into the world, and that's how we change. And these people are idols, these crazy folks that's in these positions with a lot of money that are idols. They're nothing but idols. We're allowing them to teach us, and we can't do that. We can't do that anymore. We have to change everything that we're doing and create this new reality, which is our ancient wisdom from our ancestors, with also our current knowledge that we have, and bridge the gap, and then create this world that we can get to, but we have to all do our own inner work in order for us to get there. So, you know, I feel like as we're having this conversation, we're just sharing our inner wisdom as we're working on ourselves, and we all have to continue to do that, dig deep within ourselves. And because the answers are there, we're searching everywhere, but the answers are on the inside. But we have to be able to listen and to get calm and, you know, heal in order to really hear what our source is trying to tell us. And you know, we are a part of something greater than ourselves, and the answers are there. It's just we have so much distractions that's keeping us away from the truth of who we really are, you know. But it is, at the end of the day, it is all about love and finding out what love is, not what the world says love is, but what we know in our heart and our spirit and in our blood. We know what love is, and digging that out from underneath all the rubble from the trauma that we've all experienced as men and as women.
We were outside kids.
Right.
We didn't just sit, we watched TV. We had the Huxtables and, you know, our families on TV. Of course, they weren't publicizing all the stuff that we, you know, I feel like they were publicizing a good message.
They were the family. It was an image of a family, but it was still Europeanized.
Yeah.
Still, but it was still a more structured form of family.
Yes.
And they had better images for us versus the shows that are on now. Our images aren't good at all. Our images are so confused, and that's what our children, our youth are receiving, as well as the adults are. You know, we're receiving that too with the stuff we're taking in. So, and just realizing the whole TV as a whole is all this technology is really good for information, but it's also the beast, and it can corrupt your mind, or you can use it
for corruption.
You can use it to learn from. But a lot of people don't know that we're learning from. We just get sucked into it because we're trying to escape this reality that we don't like. And so it just goes back to, how do we change our reality? You know, how do we change our reality? And it, you know, getting healthy is going to change our reality. Instead of watching the shows, reading a book instead will change our reality. Whenever we have quiet time, or meditating, walking, doing physical things, and doing things that are more quiet, unplugging from the technology. And that way it's like we unplug so that we can heal naturally without getting all these impulses coming in through our eyes, our ears, and our portals. Again, we're going back to these portals. These are our openings, is how we're taking the information in, like a computer takes in information from a computer program. Same thing with our mind, our eyes, our senses, and everything. So, and that is creating effects within our nervous system, within us, creating anxiety and other things. So it's all connected. But unplugging and getting our children to unplug and bringing them back in, and then we start focusing more on family and community as much as possible, and we rebuild from there. But it all starts in the mind of adults, adolescents, elders, everybody. It's changing the mind, changing the body, changing our thoughts, changing what we take in, and then we will start to see change in the physical realm. And it's a long process, but it's doable. It's doable.
It's deep. It's a deep.
It is deep. It's crazy. His story is deep. Our story is deep. It's all deep, but it's all on the inside. Everything that we deal with is projected outside of us, but everything, all the answers on the inside, all the truth, all the love, all the stuff that money can't buy is on the inside, and that's what we have to cultivate. And that's richness. We all want to be rich. We want to get money, but the richness is on the inside. It's the heart. When we have a clear mind and we can sit in peace and just say, oh, that's a beautiful tree. The wind is blowing. Enjoying that moment. That's richness.